Hi everyone, I'm here today to talk about our June tarot reading, but before I do, I just want to let you know some of the events that we have coming up at the Entropy Healing community over the next week or so. There's a lot happening and lots of resources for us out there for body, mind, and soul holistic health, which we need right now. So Saturday is our first event coming up. We have a sound bath at Parks and Rec from 6 to 7 o'clock. You can register at thecityofpaulsbo.com, and that is for ages 11 and up. So go ahead and bring your younger family members so they can benefit from the experience of a sound bath. Wednesday, the 11th of June, I have my astrology and sound bath musings with Neva Welton, who is a guest astrologer, and we're going to be talking about the energetics of the full moon, as well as a little bit of tarot and working through ritual and ending with a sound bath. And you can register at entropyhealing.com for that. On Sunday the 8th, there is a Beauty Boost Silverdale event. So at thebeautyboost.net, you can look for Silverdale. And on Sunday, there's a wonderful event at the Dogfish Moon Sanctuary, which is run by Frances Malone, who is also my partner here at Entropy Healing, who we do retreats with. And her beautiful space is so wonderful, and it's going to be a beautiful time to pamper yourself and to get to know other women. There's going to be Reiki, massage, all the wonderful things you can think of to pamper yourself. So that's on Sunday. And the 8th. And on Thursday, the 12th of June, is my first Teach Me Tarot class that I'm starting every Thursday. Every Thursday, 5:30 to 6:30, and every class will be a little bit different. And I'm specifically addressing how to cultivate your own relationship with the cards using music. And so it's going to be a really unique take, and you'll be learning the cards. It's for beginners and veterans alike, and I will have tables set up, so we won't just be on the floor. So for those of you who might be more comfortable, just letting you know. And lastly, Saturday the 14th is the second Saturday art walk at Paulsbo through the historic Downtown Paulsbo Association. And I am so excited to have Robert Salem of Your Heart's Drum be my guest featured artist. He's going to be sharing his beautiful drums that he makes. He also has canvas paintings. He has orgonite pyramids that he makes. He also has jewelry, and he's going to be sharing how he makes his art. And also, if you're into that and you're excited about that, the upstairs, the Lamolo Bay Advisors, they are also having some guest artists, so we're going to have a joint thing going on here on 4th and Hostmark, downtown Paulsbo. There's other things happening downtown on 1st Street, but be sure that you make your way up here. And the following week on the 20th, the night before solstice, Robert will be doing a special sacred drums, Spirit of the Drums event here, playing all of his different drums. And it'll be intuitive listening, seeing what animals pop up for you, seeing if you can hear the difference, the voices of the drums. And he'll be talking about what they told him as he made the drums, about their life and the power of their spirit as you drum and connect with that. So it's going to be so beautiful. So definitely come to those events with Robert. Okay, now into our reading. I wanted to talk first about the card that, before I talk about the card, the energetics of what's happening right now out there is impacting how we kind of work with our card that I pulled. So right now we are in this time, we're in Gemini season. It's a lot of air. It's very swirly. And our card, well, from the tarot calendar that I made, our card of this month was the Knight of Swords. And you can see he's racing towards this motorcycle, and it's very speedy. It's a feeling of, we know that we're moving forward. Things are kind of moving quickly. What we're in right now is a feeling of, we know that we're moving somewhere new, and it's happening kind of quickly. There's a lot of change happening right now. There's a lot of transition happening on the collective and on personal levels. A lot of walking away and moving away from old ways of being, if that's in relationships, if it's patterns, if it's stuff that's coming up from, how we were raised and how we're deciding to move in new ways in our adulthood. There's a lot of shift and transition. And true to the entropy idea, a lot of times that change comes through a feeling of chaos and destruction. Sometimes, we can kind of ignore and resist changing until we're kind of forced into it. So there's this collective feeling of kind of being forced, but also sometimes ready and of our choice. Both of those ways of changing. Sometimes it is forced upon us, or it's also of our choice. And as we're going through that, entropy says that the universe will use discord and chaos, sometimes destruction, to bring us back into harmony. So the image that I received for this reading was the idea of being in a tornado. And our card is going to be Four of Wands, by the way, but the card was reversed, so like this. And in this tornado, what I was getting is, with all of this change happening and swirling, it's like this card helps us to be in the eye of the tornado. And so with the Four of Wands, what we're working with here is our relationship with pleasure and play and desire and fun. You can see that they're, dancing outside like at a festival. This is my happy place. Danny's happiest place would be in this card for sure. And, with the wands, this is relating to our creativity and our passion and our solar plexus. But first, what I'm going to talk about is this, the number 4. 4 really does bring us back to kind of our roots. And so what we're asking to bring attention to is, what is our relationship with pleasure and play? And, what is our relationship with that? And how do we connect with that when it feels like we're just in this storm that's all around us? So the Four of Wands is reminding us, when you're in the eye of the storm, as things are moving, you can't get rid of that storm. You can't necessarily just pop right out of it. There is a way to make your way through this eye and to experience pleasure and light, and do what lights your heart up. So what can be difficult about this is it's bringing attention to the number 4 relates to our root chakra, which is a lot of the programming that we have about productivity, our relationship with money. And in this consumerism world, there's a lot of belief that we have to be productive or defend how we use our time, how we're moving always constantly forward. We're always, growing and moving forward. And this idea that if we're not, that there's something wrong. There can be, some of this swirl can be like guilt when we do. I'm going to raise my hand on that one. When we do take that time for ourselves, that maybe we're disappointing others, or, if you have some kind of people pleasing, because 4 in our root chakra, it brings us back to our sense of home. And so if you're feeling and your home, it's like your home base of how you react, when you are kind of in this chaos. Do you, push away your emotions by keeping busy? Do you kind of get stuck in the drama of it all and just you jump on that hamster wheel and the spinning wheels, go? Do you blame other people because your relationships could be part of this swirl that you're going through, if it's discord with others, or if it's triggers that are happening in your relationships? So some of these things, in our home base is this way that the way we might have been raised in the environment that we were in. Our home base is kind of what feels the most comfortable. Whether that's good for us or not, that's kind of what we're working through this season. But our home base could be one of constant chaos. If you lived in a home where it was kind of chaos, or let's say you had parents who were OCD or perfectionism, and that is your baseline of what home is. Then when you have all these things of change swirling around you, trying to do the perfect or right thing and to get things exactly how you want is going to feel very overwhelming and difficult and really impossible, because there is no such thing as perfection. There could be the opposite, where maybe, our environment was that of more of laziness, where it was people who didn't know how to care for themselves. And so they did things that were self-sabotaging or self-destructive. And that can be our home base that we learned in our root chakra, what it means to to come home to ourselves is in that state. So, this is addressing kind of in this number 4 in our root chakra, what is kind of our home base for how we relate to the ability to feel pleasure. And really in this, it's like the desire, with our wands, what do we desire to do? A big message that came through for this card is to lighten up. Find the people who make you belly laugh. Just have a good time. And when you are gifted, which it doesn't feel like it's gifted all the time, especially in this reversal, when you're gifted those little pockets of time, those little teeny eyes in the storm, are you able to actually relieve yourself from all of that and go into the place where you can have fun and you can let whatever you're doing fill you up and not be connected to all the stuff that's swirling around? It's kind of being able to be in that moment and allow yourself to just do and to have that fun and to have that break away, because that actually is what lights up our flame. When we allow ourselves to truly have fun without, and to separate ourselves from what we should be doing, what our responsibilities are, our obligations. If you can actually separate yourself from that and become the eye of your own storm, that that is actually how you kind of fill up your cup, and you actually light up you have more energy to make it through all these other things. I've seen this so much in my readings lately of people who are having a difficulty with being able to just lighten up and do those things for fun and play, because it's like, how can I possibly do that with all this going on? But that is the message for us, to lighten up. And be with people who make you laugh. Do things that are really just fun because they're fun. It's not because you can check it off of some list and say, I always wanted to do this, so let's go do this list. It's like, no, in this moment, this is what I want to do. And it's going to light up that solar plexus, which, is our relationship that we have, our belief in ourself, our self-esteem, our self-worth, that is shaped by the outside world, outside relationships. And so as all this stuff is swirling around, you're cultivating your own eye in the storm by growing your trust in yourself and your faith that you can have this, do what you need to do for yourself without explaining, without defending. And I'm just going to share a teeny example. This morning, when I got to my store, I realized I didn't have the proper keys with the key to get in. And knowing that, I had all these things that I planned on doing, right? This swirl of there's constant things to do when you're running your own business, being a mother of 3, all the responsibilities. And of course, my initial reaction was probably a word I won't say on this reading, but I thought, okay, this is exactly 4 of Wands, because now I get time to go finish listening to that podcast and really take some quiet extra time to think about this reading that I'm going to be doing, and to tune in and to channel a little more, that there's more information for me to gather and experience in almost being forced into this storm. Like, I have to go back home. I have to go, do all this when I had this timeline already planned out for my day. And so it forced me to pause and take a break. And sometimes that's what these 4s do. So I hope this is helpful. I know it's a long reading, but happy June, and I hope to see you in all of my beautiful events coming up. Adios.